So right now I'm gonna create a illustration for the D&D module that I'm making. And so I'm gonna start out with like testing some ideas and making some thumbnails. And so I'm gonna just be using this this sanguine chalky pencil that I like to use. And so yeah, and so I'm just gonna start with this. And what I'm kind of imagining here is one of the characters who is in the module sneaking up on characters in a kitchen and eavesdropping, really. And so I imagine this figure here, and what I'm kind of doing is I'm just kind of thinking through the composition. What am I really looking for? What would be the best thing? So this character here is a girl named Monse, and she is living with a coven of crones, and so she is right now eavesdropping on them. And so I'm just working on thinking through, what do I want this to look like, and what am I kind of going for here. And so with creating D&D illustrations, I think one of the things that I need to think about is like the page itself. So we have a page, and there are a number of ways that we can create illustrations. We could just take up the whole page. We can also take the top portion of the page. We could take the bottom portion of the page. We could just take a corner of the page. I think with this one, I am looking to either taking the top or the bottom of the page. And either way, it doesn't really matter if I create it as a more of a landscape thing. So when creating these illustrations, you got to think it through, well, what exactly are we going for? And I think I'm going toward a top of a page over more of a bottom of a page. So yeah, that's kind of the direction I'm leaning toward. And so what I'm having here is I'm having a kitchen area. The camera, if you will, we'll just call it that, is looking into the kitchen, but we also have the wall of the hallway here. We have Monse, the character, and what we could do is we can start creating the kitchen. And so my first impression is we have a figure here we have a counter here, I have a figure here. And one of the things that I want to remember is what I like to do is I like to think of how am I going to move the eyes through the composition. And so what we can have is we have this figure here wearing, let's give her a dress, and I'm gonna think through this. We could have a torch or a lantern here. It's casting shadow here. And we're already getting this movement right here. And so I'm gonna have window here maybe. And I have a counter, and I'm gonna do some storage under this counter. And we're gonna, this wall here, this break kind of serves as what we call a transition. And so but we need like a good way of getting to there. And so okay, what we could do is use hair for this. Okay. Now, this character right here, her name is Rhea, and she is Monse's mother. And currently in the story, she is transforming. There's also, it's a coven, whatever it's called. And so there's three of them. And I'm trying to think of how are we gonna, because if she's eavesdropping, we need a other person in here. And so, yeah, we can, I don't know, I'm gonna think of something else. So we have, I'm gonna think through this. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. How do I want to do this? Right now I'm using cubes to just think through what I want to do next. Let's see. Oh, where did I put that? I don't know. Find it. Oh. Okay. I think it's in here. Where are you? Huh, it's not in here. Well, that's unfortunate. I wonder where to put that. Huh. That's a mystery. Shoot. I guess I'm not using the wash. I swear I just had it. Oh well. Okay. Super weird. Okay. So, well, I can't find my water brush. It's unfortunate. So I just use this, then this much lighter. So actually I'm So we got actually, I don't think I really want to do that. I think I'm trying to think through this. So we got this. Let us actually, I'm gonna just create brand new one. Let's think through this. Let's make this more than half of it. Zoom in on her. Okay. 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 And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to divide the composition up. So when I'm thinking of lighting, I need to think of, so we have this foreground right here. The foreground is almost exclusively this. And this will be, let's say, watching or listening. And this is the foreground. And here we have the kitchen, and we have the floor here, the wall here, and then the ceiling here. And I'm actually going to put a limit to this. This might actually help move the eye in this direction. Okay. Okay. Then we should measure this out. we have person. The counter again. I'm going to just stretch the counter this way. And we have person 1. And notice what I'm trying to do here is I'm just using basic shapes, and so here I just used spheres and boxes. Spheres here. And got this going on. And got this. And so, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a hanging lantern right here. And it will, just thinking through this, help the eye and okay. And flip it around. Let's see what this does. Okay. 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 I'm gonna just shade this in, not necessarily for any reason for lighting, it's just to indicate it's a different plane. So, and excuse me. Okay. It's the counter. Okay. Okay. I think it's getting close. thinking of space right now. What if we do this actually? Put the floor right here. And then what we'll have right here is something like this. A little shelf here. Just do that. Okay. These shades are not necessarily anything to do with light, it's to distinguish the different planes. I'm actually not very good with rock